Developed shoulders give off a more athletic, strong, and attractive appearance than having underdeveloped shoulders. So if you want to build up your shoulders, you want to make sure that you're doing the most effective and efficient exercises to get results faster. And I'm sure most of you don't have a ton of time to figure out which exercises and workouts produce better results. That's why I want to go over the only shoulder exercises that you need to get full three-dimensional defined looking shoulders in no time. So first, we have to start with dumbbell overhead presses because this is an exercise that you can do with just 2 dumbbells, yet it's extremely effective at targeting the anterior and the lateral shoulder heads. This exercise is very easy to set up and it can be done standing or seated. I recommend doing it seated so that your back is supported. This way you can use heavier weights to target your shoulders even better. So take a seat with 2 heavy dumbbells planted on your knees. Then you're going to kick 1 dumbbell up at a time to bring them over your shoulders and rotate your arms out to get into the starting position. From there, press straight up over your head until the dumbbells are almost touching. Then lower back down until the dumbbells are even with your ears or a little lower, and then repeat for reps. Right alongside this exercise, and what many people consider to be an even better shoulder builder, is the barbell military press. If you have a barbell, this exercise will allow you to load a much heavier weight load since both arms are working together at the same time. Working on increasing the weight load tends to help bulk up the muscles that you're targeting over time. Just like the dumbbells, you can do these standing, but I recommend doing them seated so that your back is supported, as it'll once again allow you to lift heavier weight. So take a seat and grip the bar about thumb's distance apart from where the knurling starts. Lift the bar off the rack and slowly lower down towards your chest. As you do this, you'll have to shift your head back to give the bar space to pass. Also, you have the option to lower it down right to your chin before pressing back up, but I personally like to get a full range of motion on this exercise, so I like to bring the bar all the way down to my chest before pressing back up and repeating for reps. Another pressing exercise that you should be doing is the Arnold Press. Arnold presses allow you to go through an even greater range of motion, giving you a stretch at the bottom that most other pressing exercises simply don't provide. They also target your lateral head better than most other pressing exercises as well. So just like regular dumbbell presses, you'll start by sitting on a bench with the dumbbells on your knees. Then bring the dumbbells up to the starting position, which is going to look like you just completed a bicep curl. Your palms should be facing towards your body and your elbows should be directly under your hands. Next, you're going to press up, and as you're doing that, rotate your hands inward so that at the top of the press, your palms are now facing away from you. Then lower back down while turning your hands back outward and return to the starting position with the dumbbells curled against your shoulders. Then repeat. Next is the bent arm lateral raise. This is an exercise that you definitely want to be doing even if you're already doing regular lateral raises. Since bending your arm creates a shorter lever length, you're able to lift more weight with the bent arm lateral raises, once again assisting with shoulder development. To begin, grab 2 dumbbells and position them in front of your body. Then bend slightly forward to better target your lateral deltoid and to prevent your body from getting in the way. Once you're in this starting position, raise the dumbbells to your sides, trying to keep your elbows slightly higher than your hands the entire time. As you raise up, your elbows should be at 90-degree angles, and your armpit should also create a 90-degree angle at the top of the movement. Then slowly lower back down and repeat for reps. You can do this exercise seated as well by sliding to the edge of the bench and passing the dumbbells under your thighs for every rep. Another exercise for the lateral head that I feel is a much better variation than regular lateral raises is the leaning lateral raise. The leaning lateral raise will allow you to get a greater range of motion at the top of the movement, overloading that portion and making it harder to complete. To perform leaning lateral raises, you'll first need something sturdy that you can hold on to. Either a racked barbell or a squat rack will work just fine, but anything sturdy that you can hold on to while leaning away will work. So in this demonstration, I'm going to grab the post of a squat rack, and then from there, you want to walk your feet closer to the post while straightening the arm that's holding onto it so that you're leaning out to one side. Then simply raise the dumbbell up and out to your side while keeping your elbow slightly bent. Raise the dumbbell all the way up until your arm is parallel to the ground, then lower back down and repeat. Now the truth is that it's easy to target the front heads of your shoulders with compound exercises like most presses, to the point that it's not really necessary to do isolation exercises like frontal raises at all. It's a little more challenging to target that middle head, but it's most challenging to hit the back of your shoulders. So one of the best isolation exercises that you should definitely be doing to balance out your shoulder development is the reverse fly. Here you would grab 2 dumbbells and bend down until your chest is almost parallel to the ground. While doing this, make sure you keep the natural arc in your back rather than letting your spine completely round forward. Then while keeping your elbows slightly bent, you're going to perform a reverse fly by bringing the dumbbells out to your sides and then towards the ceiling in an arc-like motion. Then bring the dumbbells back together and repeat for reps. These can also be done seated with you bent over your knees by passing the dumbbells under your legs, just like we would do with the bent arm lateral raises. Now, both of these variations are isolation exercises, but luckily there is a compound exercise that works the back of your shoulder very effectively. And since it's so hard to hit the back of your shoulder, this is definitely one that you want to incorporate into your routine. High rows. You can do these with a barbell or with dumbbells. The key is to grab the weight and bend down until your upper body is once again almost parallel to the ground. Then row straight back with your elbows flared out and up high, aiming to row the barbell or the dumbbells higher up towards your chest rather than your belly button like you would with regular rows. From there, you would just lower the weight back down while staying in that bent over position with your back maintaining its neutral arc, and then repeat for reps. Another exercise that can be just as effective for the back of your shoulders is the cable reverse fly. Here you would position two cables a little higher than shoulder height. You can use D-handle attachments to take a neutral grip to perform this exercise, but I like to grip the cables themselves behind the carabiner. So to begin, you're going to face forward towards the cable cross and grab the left cable with your right hand. Then cross your left arm over your right arm and grab the right cable in your left hand. So that's your starting position with both arms crossed over each other. From there, you're going to open your arms and bring the cables back in that same arc-like path with your elbows slightly bent the entire time. After bringing both cables all the way back, squeeze your shoulder blades together for a second before slowly returning the weights back to the starting position with your arms crossed over, and then repeat for reps. The next exercise is if you're stuck at home and you don't have dumbbells or barbells or really any equipment. You don't have to do this if you do have the equipment to do these other exercises that we've already gone over. But if you don't, pike push-ups are really good at developing your shoulders utilizing only your body weight. Most people do these on the ground, and if you're a beginner, you should definitely start on the ground to get a good feel of how to do this exercise properly. However, once you become more comfortable on the ground, I recommend trying to elevate off the ground by using stable platforms of some sort to allow for a greater range of motion. When you do these on the ground, your head prevents you from getting a good stretch in the shoulders. Meanwhile, on platforms, you can go a lot lower and challenge yourself a lot more. You would just set up 3 platforms, one of which you would put both your feet on, and then you would put one hand on each of the others. For once, you'll want to actually raise your hips up in the air so that your body forms a triangle shape. Then lower yourself down for a push-up until you get a nice stretch in your shoulders and your upper chest, and from there, press back up to the starting position. Finally, last but not least, is an exercise that helps strengthen the function of shoulder elevation, but I will say it mostly targets the traps, barbell shrugs. And shrugs made it into this video because your traps help complete and balance out the look of your shoulders, and the secondary muscle worked to the traps during shrugs actually happens to be your shoulders. So I would definitely include a shoulder elevation exercise like barbell or dumbbell shrugs in my routine. Performing them is pretty straightforward. You would just grab a heavy loaded barbell or dumbbells, unrack the weight, and shrug your shoulders straight up. Then squeeze at the top for a second before slowly lowering back down and repeating for reps. The main mistake that you want to avoid is barely moving your shoulders up and down because the weight is too heavy. I see this all the time. So performing mini shrugs is a definite no-no. And also don't roll your shoulders on every rep. Instead, just go straight up and down. So those are really the only exercises you need for optimal shoulder development. The reason why there's so many posterior deltoid exercises and so few anterior deltoid exercises is because the front part of your shoulder gets constant work even during exercises like bench press. So usually additional isolation exercises are not necessary. On the other hand, the middle and especially the back parts of your shoulder need that extra focus to develop in proportion with the rest. Now, as usual, I don't recommend you do all of these exercises in one giant workout. I would take half and combine them into a shoulder workout of your own. An example would be to start with military presses for 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps, then move on to bent arm lateral raises for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, followed by high rows for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Then move on to reverse cable flies for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, and finally finish off with shrugs for 3 sets of 10 reps. You can save the other half of the exercises for your second arm training day of that week. I really hope this video has helped you out. These are truly the only shoulder exercises that you really need, and there's no reason why you can't develop really nice cap-like shoulders with some consistency at these exercises. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to this channel where you can get plenty more of these kinds of videos. Also, if you want any extra help and you want a done-for-you system that'll help you build up other muscles in your body, including your chest, arms, and legs, then head on over to my website where you can get my entire Lean Muscle Multiplier program for free after a rebate. The way you get it for free is by adding 15 pounds over the course of 12 weeks. Now the goal is to make as much of those 15 pounds that you add be muscle, but when you bulk up, even on a lean bulk, you will of course gain a lot of water weight. So the 15-pound goal is what gets you the program for free, and it's very achievable as long as you simply try. You'll get a customized diet plan, a 12-week progressive workout plan, a recipe book, and a coach to guide you through the entire process and make adjustments whenever you need. Just by following through, you'll get the whole thing for free. To find out more, you can click the link below in the description, or you can head on over to my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.